All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Worldwide Wrestling Online, and you are watching Failed Heroes Sideshow. I'm Remarkable Randall Reigns, and tonight I am coming to you to talk about a project that's very near and dear to my heart. Some of you over the last couple of weeks, this last couple of months, who have been watching my stream may have noticed some of the names and similarities between wrestlers who appear as my CAWs in the Worldwide Wrestling Network, and you may be scratching your head as why do I recognize these guys or girls? Why do they seem so familiar? And tonight I hope to answer that question and also hope to recruit a few viewers and a few creators to be a part of what I am titling hashtag AKI Invasion. So, this is a project by Failed Hero Productions and Associates for the 2K WWE games to be broadcast on Twitch. It is a part of my Worldwide Wrestling Network project that I do with my live stream and show, where I essentially am reinventing a storyline and ideas utilizing my own original CAWs and the AKI placeholders from WCW versus the NWO World Tour and WCW versus NWO games. So, a quick little background regarding the project. So, the first game that I ever played was WCW versus NWO World Tour for Nintendo 64. And when I played these games, it was not Sting and Hulk Hogan, the Giant, and Diamond Dallas Page that caught my attention. Those guys were on TV. I knew about them. The guys who caught my attention were these placeholder characters, these characters that I literally had no idea who they were, and I didn't even know that they were real wrestlers. And as I found out later, as I matured in my wrestling fandom, these guys were Japanese stars, and some of them were actually Japanese superstars, legends. But Peruso at that point in my fandom was incredibly alien to me. So as I got older and started watching tapes and tracking down matches on YouTube and all this other stuff, I realized that guys like Pachita, Hannibal, the Black Ninja, Shogun, these were real Japanese stars. These were Anatsushi Onita. These were Hayabusa. These were Great Sasuke. These were Kawada. So, what I decided back all the way in WWE 2K13, so almost 4 years ago, was that I was going to start remaking these placeholder CAWs as originally as filler for my WWE universe because I wanted a completely original online universe. And I've been working on this project ever since. But these characters have become more than just filler for me. They have become almost as much as an important part of my original idea for the Worldwide Wrestling Network as my own original CAWs. So it all comes back to Aki. And some of you, I know that the pictures are kind of small, but this is every single AKI placeholder that I have pictures of. I still have the old strategy guides for the WCW games, and some of these were screen grabs from basically an emulator. And guys, this is how much of a fan I am. I've done a ton of research to try to connect these characters to who they originally were, fix some move sets, and also just collected a lot of things over time to try to make these characters who were just placeholders to fill a roster on WCW games into something more realistic for the Worldwide Wrestling Network. So, what are the promotions? Well, we have the Empire Wrestling Federation. This is a promotion that is very much influenced by All Japan and New Japan. And they mostly features 11 to 12 AKI placeholder characters based on Japanese and American stars who really made their name in Japan. The goal is to feature in this promotion a more strong style wrestling product that is as close to strong style as 2K games can simulate. Dead or Alive Wrestling. This promotion is geared towards more hardcore and extreme characters that were popular in the late 90s and the early mid 2000s. These AKI characters are based on pro wrestlers who made their names in Japan or in other extreme promotions who were known mostly for their death matches as much as their regular matches that they had. The Independent Union. The Independent Union didn't really have that great of description in the strategy guide. They were way too similar to Dead or Alive Wrestling. And so what I decided to do is to make them much more influenced of one of my favorite wrestling promotions, Chikara, or Wrestling is Fun, where they are supposed to be a family-friendly alternative to some of the other wrestling promotions. So characters featured in this promotion, um, their gimmicks range from the serious to the outright silly to the completely absurd. And there is a definite influence of lucha libre and Mexican wrestling. Now, two of the promotions that will not fit into the original Aki idea are things that I am trying to do to make the story of the Worldwide Wrestling Network work. Um, I'm a huge fan of women's wrestling, and I want to promote women's wrestling and original women's wrestling characters. And so I am in my Worldwide Wrestling Network universe. Glow still exists and is an homage to the original promotion that was in the 80s, but it's kind of taken the place of a Shimmer or Shine or Stardom, which started in the mid 2000s, which takes women's wrestling seriously and it showcases it on the same level and platform as its male counterparts. And then the final promotion is Southern Premier, which is my original wrestling promotion, which houses all of my original characters, non-Aki characters. It's a traditional pro wrestling promotion that meshes the current sports entertainment idea of wrestling mixed with some of the old school Southern style pro wrestling. So, who's on the roster? Who are these wrestlers? Well, um, a lot of these names I've actually changed and did further research. And so, in order to make them a little more current and relevant to the modern day product and a little less offensive. So, Wu Fang the Jaguar is Matsuhiro Masawa. That's who he's based on. Shogun is I'm going to butcher his first name, so I'm just going to call him Kawada. Big fan of the guy. His work with Masawa and the top and Akira Tao and basically the four aces of All Japan was fantastic. Sam the Executioner Song is Kenta Kobashi. Big Frank, Jumbo Saruta. Eddie Jekyll is Dr. Death Steve Williams. Pachacuti Atahalapa is Akira Tao. La Masquerade is Emil Mascaris. Rika Saha is Gary Albright. Tiger Man McCool is Stan Hansen. And the Black Widow Kimiko Nissan is Manami Toyota. Some of you who are familiar with the AKI characters will say, wait a minute, these aren't these guys' names in WCW versus NWO Revenge. These aren't their names from WCW versus NWO World Tour. What I did is I essentially went and looked at all of the AKI games from PlayStation's WCW versus the World, uh, and WCW versus World Tour, and WCW versus NWO Revenge. And I went and kind of hodgepodge names that made it sound like a real person. Okay. And for things that I couldn't find a real person for, I would look into the history of a character or a culture that the Aki character was supposed to represent, and pull from that in order to once again make the character seem more real. Dead or Alive Wrestling. Joe the Hulk Hana is Tenryu. Kim Chi is Koji Katao. The Blackheart Ming Chi is Tarzan Goda. Date Ken, Atushi Onita. Hannibal Havana is Hayabusa, which I've more influenced off of his H persona, not the masked Hayabusa persona. Powder Keg Samson is Kodo Fuyuki. Dante Bane is Jado. Virgil Samarito is Gato. Yurikai Ben Khan is Abdullah the Butcher. Saladin is Sabu. Bad Blood Pachita is Wing Kanamura. And the Golden Jin is the Sheik. And the Independent Union roster. Kokyo Kishi, the Great Sasuke. Rei Munyo, Jinsei Senzake. The Unknown, Super Delphin. The Claw, Grand Naniwa, David Hartley, Taka Michinoku, Francisco Fiasco, Dick Togo, Big Bear Bukowski is Terry Boy, Isaba Basoa Chito is Sunjay Takano / George Takano / Great Zebra. Graham Fujimoto is Yoshiaki Fujiwara / Grand Hamada, because there was a little bit of unclarity, a little bit of murkiness on who Grand Fujimoto was supposed to be. He looked like Fujiwara, but he had a little bit of Hamada's moveset. Bolt Jameson is Kensuke Sasuke, and Haram Baro is Hiroshi Tensen. So, why the name changes and the personality changes of these AKI Originals? Well, first of all, a lot of the AKI names were incredibly insensitive, and I wanted to take the time to update characters and gimmicks and keep true to the spirit of the AKI characters, while at the same time not being an inconsiderate dick. Second, a lot of the AKI names did not reflect the impact that their inspirations like Masawa or Kawada or Sasuke or Onita had on the wrestling business. And third, variety. We want to have representations of all walks of life in our storytelling. Being the same is boring. And original stories are being told with these characters. And so sometimes those original Aki names just didn't fit with the original stories that we were trying to tell. So what do we need? Well, I have about 75 characters, and 46 of them are Aki inspired creations. I'm a teacher by trade, and so the recreation of these characters, just like any time you're creating CAWs, is very, very time consuming. And in order to want to get this universe launched and going, I am trying to recruit a few willing creators who would be willing to lend a hand. Going into 2K18 and beyond, help is going to be needed and appreciated for recreating these Aki calls, the belts, and arenas in a particularly timely fashion so that I can get the stream going and the universe mode up and running as soon as possible. And so the effort is being made to reach out to existing creators and new creators who are willing to take some guidance, who are willing to share ideas to help get these AKI characters done as quickly as possible. Also, as far as my own personal needs for the Worldwide Wrestling Network, I need some channel monitors, some Discord monitors, some video editors, and some graphic designers, people who are willing to put a little bit of time and effort to make the channel work. And I know, well, you're asking for help, so what are you going to be giving me? I don't expect you to do anything for free, so here's what I'm offering in return. In addition to credit being given to all creators who work on these characters, will promote any creator's Twitch stream, YouTube channel, Twitter feed at my discretion during my streams, in my own Twitter, on my own YouTubes, to basically make sure that you are getting the exposure and the recognition as a creator that you deserve. Additionally, I have approximately 20 slots open in my universe mode, and those slots are opened up to the first people who are willing to assist me in the AKI characters, and especially the creators who are going to be active in my Twitch channel. Now, because of this, we may have to rotate people in and out of storylines at some point, but I am willing to do this as long as people are interested and invested in characters. And also, additional incentives can be discussed with the Worldwide Wrestling Network. And here's the other thing, guys. You won't have to be making anything from scratch. I've been working on this project for 3 years. Over that time, I've created logos, face textures, body morphs, and moveset videos that will go with these AKI characters. We have the resources to create them. We just need the assistance of other creators to get them done in a timely fashion. So who do you need to contact? Well, you can follow and direct message Failed Hero on Twitter. You can subscribe and comment to Worldwide Wrestling Online on YouTube. You can send a whisper to Failed Hero 85 or contact a mod during stream. Or you can email the Worldwide Wrestling Network at worldwidewesting@gmail.com. Yes, I know that the L and the T are flipped. I did it on purpose. So Worldwide Wrestling with the L and T flipped. So, guys, essentially, I'm asking for your help because I think not only will I get a kick out of having these original AKI characters in my universe to promote my stories and my work, I also think there will be help surge a uh, chip of nostalgia to sail out so that people will look and say, oh, hey, I remember Date 10 from WCW versus NWO Revenge. I wonder how these guys created them. Or I remember Hanzo Man. I wonder how these guys did that move set. Guys, I appreciate you taking the time to view. And if you are interested, please reach out to us. And we're willing to work with people and also take suggestions. Thank you and have a great thank you. Subscribe to the YouTube video if you like what you see. Follow me on Twitter at FailedHero85 and check out my Twitch channel at FailedHero85. Have a good evening, guys.